Today on One, your daily dose of local affairs and social media commentary.
Today on One, Nampol to pay students 800,000 Namibia dollars for assault. Anti-Corruption Commission adds one more in Fishrot net. Popular Democratic Movement addresses Kahungu on city infrastructure. And organizers of Men's Conference in need of funds.
The 4 students that were beaten by members of the Namibian Police Force Special Reserve in 2018 after NANSO demonstrated to the Ministry of Higher Education are celebrating as they have won the court case against the officers, with Nampol now having to pay each student 200,000 Namibian dollars. In 2018, the Namibian National Students Organization led a march to the Ministry of Higher Education to demand for 100% tuition fee payment as the Namibia Student Financial Assistance Fund, NASFAF, was delaying payments. Following the demonstration, the students were brutally beaten by the Nampol Special Reserve Force members.
I was having a speaker as the police officers were chasing us. I was speaking on a speaker telling students to take videos. And then one police officer came to me, pointing a gun at me, saying he will kill me. Then I told him, kill, I'm ready to die for my right. Mm-hmm. So I'm still having that image of that police officer. So I know it to not get out of my mind. It's not easy.
Those guys, for real, I should blame the minister. She sent us those guys for a purpose. Our students were beaten. I personally was beaten after. I ran those kilometers from that place until Chinatown, running for my life and for my students also. We did nothing illegal. So the minister should be held accountable for this.
Reciprocated by nothing but savage antics. Special field forces were sanctioned to a peaceful gathering on an instruction to assault students with disdain and horrific brutality, which inflicted serious injuries on many of our students, resulted in the seizure of student personal belongings, and the disappearance of many other students who are unaccounted for at this very moment, despite the confirmation that we got from the commissioner that there are none in police custody.
The Student Union of Namibia Sun leadership told Today on One that they are happy that the justice system has not completely failed them in this case.
Those that were suing against, which means is the Ministry of Safety and Security, as well as the Namibian police under the Lieutenant General Deitunga, who still keep threatening the young people. So I don't know, they knew maybe they don't have a case against us because we have collected enough evidence. We had videos, we had pictures, we have all evidence that were necessary to defend our case. Maybe it's because of that that they thought that they don't have a case, but we are happy that the courts have pronounced themselves. The other thing probably we can do is just also to thank our legal representative, the fearless Henry Shumutukeni, who have availed himself that time, even when we did not have money, to have his time to volunteer expertise in terms of representing the students, and to make sure that we don't surrender and that we are not sidelined by the regime.
We reached out to the minister just in the name of calling for funding of 100% tuition fee and 80% non-tuition fee, and also the resignation of the Minister of Higher Education, because we think that the minister is incompetent to lead that ministry. And because of that, the minister and the police have called special force, even for that matter, special force to come and beat up Namibian students. It is for that from that day, some of the leader from NANSO, specifically to name Esther, who was the president, and Simon Tapopi, who were a Secretary General, formed a regime to fight against those who stand up and read that demonstration. To put it in the record that demonstration was not spearheaded under the leadership of NANSO.
I just want to tell Namibian people with Sekucha, the part of the steering committee that was organizing that demonstration today, most of them, they are part of the structure of Student Union of Namibia. We're just happy what is transpired today. In Student Union of Namibia, we still continue fighting for students. We still continue united Namibian students.
In 2018, the Deputy Commissioner in the Public Relations Department, Edwin Kagonchivi, said that the students were given direct instructions by law enforcement, claiming that they have failed to follow them, which according to him led to the involvement of the Nampol Special Reserve Forces.
Baby, you know how things have slowed down between us?
Sure.
I think it's time we spice things up.
For real?
How about we add 4 hotties to the mix?
4
each.
Things are heating up at Hungry Lion with 4 Zamba spicy winglets and chips for only $22.90.
Hungry like a lion.
Mike Ngipunya, the Chief Executive Officer of the National Fishing Corporation of Namibia, made his first appearance in the Windhoek Magistrate Court after he was arrested on several charges in connection with the Fishrot case that has captured national and international interest. Another big fish has been caught in the Fishrot net by the Anti-Corruption Commission of Namibia, as Mike Ngipunya, the suspended CEO of Fishcorp, was brought in for questioning on Monday morning by the ACC and subsequently arrested in connection with the Fishrot case. Ngipunya, who appeared before Magistrate Linus Samunzala yesterday at the Windhoek Magistrate Court, was put on trial for several charges related to corruption, which include money laundering and defrauding the government of 75.6 million Namibia dollars by allegedly abusing his position in a public office for personal gains. Today on One spoke to the ACC to shed more light on the arrest.
Ngipunya appeared, actually he's been charged in contravening of Section 43(1) of the Anti-Corruption Act, Act number 8 of 2003, whereby this act or this section actually talks about corruptly using office or position for gratification, and it includes a public officer who commits an offense directly or indirectly or corruptly uses his or her office or position in a public body to obtain any gratification, whether for the benefit of himself or herself or any other persons. The addition to the Section 43 that Ngipunya has been charged with is Section 32, 43, and 43.2, as well as Section 46, 49, as well as Section 51 of the Anti-Corruption Act. Ngipunya has actually been suspected to have misused his position as the CEO of Fishcorp and as a public official to obtain gratification for himself or for others in respect and includes the payment that was made in one of the PTY Ltd company under the DHC company, which were actually meant for Fishcorp.
The other 5 accused, which include Saki Shangala, Bernard Esau, Thompson Hatuikulipi, James Hatuikulipi, and Pius Mwatelulo, also joined the suspended CEO of Fishcorp in court, where they received an additional new charges. According to Ngitua Mata, the 2 former fisheries and justice ministers, as well as James Hatuikulipi, who was the former chairperson of Fishcorp, are accused of abusing their positions in a public office for gratification, as well as obstructing or defeating the cause of justice by attempting to remove or conceal evidence, which include bank cards and documents.
There was an arrest of Nigel van Wyk, who was arrested last year, December, and been suspected that he tried to move or to take some of the documents or things to be utilized or that were relevant to the investigation which is ongoing. And as for James Hatuikulipi, he's also having an additional charge on the bribery case, whereby by which Jason and Kokule were arrested. Some were in January and February, respectively, in 2020. So these are mostly the extra charges that were added to on top of the Fishrot charges, or the top of the corruption charges that has been investigated by the Anti-Corruption Commission.
All the suspects, excluding Ngipunya, are expected to appear in court on Thursday, the 20th of February 2020, on the first charges brought against them by the state. Upon submission by the defense and the state lawyers, Magistrate Samunzala agreed to join the latest charges and to postpone the next hearing to 23rd April this year. The suspects will remain in custody at the Windhoek Central Prison.
I've booked your shower, sir.
Bringing the world together through Dubai. Fly Emirates, fly better.
The Popular Democratic Movement paid a courtesy visit to the city of Windhoek mayor to consult her on matters of the city such as infrastructure, sanitation, and land delivery. President of the Popular Democratic Movement, McHenry Venani, at the courtesy visit was accompanied by the party's Shadow Minister of Health and Shadow Minister of Local Government and Housing, where they raised issues of land delivery for informal settlers, sanitation, and city infrastructure.
People are living in shacks for the last 30 years, and they do not own the land on which they are living on. Now, if you go around the world, especially in the Americas, South America, Chile, Peru, more recently Brazil, through their strategy of Volta La Familia, you would have seen that they have made land available to the people. Now, I want to impress upon the city of Windhoek that it cannot be business as usual. We cannot continue having over 950,000 Namibians living in shacks, and these people do not own the land on which they are living on. And that is a big problem. 1/3 of these people that are living in these shacks can be able to build their own homes. They have the capacity and means to build their own homes. But if the land is not made available to them, then they will never have the capacity to build their own homes. And as a leadership of City of Windhoek, I came here to consult with you. What are the mitigating remedies that you have put on the table? How are we going to address the backlog of shacks? People don't make a difference. People have no longer trust in leadership, whether in opposition, whether in government. They look at us as the same people because we are their leaders and we are not delivering on their lot. We have gained independence 30 years after independence. Our people don't have decent toilets. If you go around the riverbeds here, we just made a detour at the riverbed and I was showing here the condition. People are using open defecation. What is it that we can do? What is the city of Windhoek doing to impress upon central government to get the question of sanitation going? We are pushing in our own party, in our manifesto, a one Namibia, one plot. And we are very serious about it. That it is achievable to deliver a single plot to a family in this country. And we are saying also a one Namibia, one toilet. Because what is it that the city of Windhoek is doing to deliver sanitation, to deliver housing?
The party's Shadow Minister of Health, Winnie Mongo, queried the mayor on the dilapidating health infrastructure and the lack of medical staff.
So the hospitals are overcrowded. We don't have enough facilities, health facilities. We only have one intermediate hospital like at Tutura. We also have a referral hospital, which is Central Hospitals. And all the health centers, even if we have this, just walk past the clinic here, it is there, but there's a shortage of staff. There's lack of clinical supplies. So it does not help having a health center to the people, but then we don't even have staff in it. What are we doing? So we have residents, we have people who are coming all the way from the informal settlements, all the way to Katutura for services. Maybe we should try to bring the service closer to the people, employ more people.
According to the City of Windhoek Mayor, Francina Kahungu, majority owners of about 40,000 households in the informal settlements did not follow the correct procedures when occupying the land, adding that her office is however working on a solution for land delivery by issuing certificates of ownership.
This policy allows Windhoek municipality to provide or to give land in the way it is, serviced or not serviced, but mainly unserviced to the people, especially who are already there. They are many. By this time, more than 40,000 households are occupying lands in the informal settlement. and the majority went there unprocedural. Even if they went there unprocedural, it is the responsibility of Windhoek municipality to provide the needed services to all inhabitants of Windhoek.
The city of Windhoek plans to install communal toilets and taps in 4 constituencies, namely Moses Garuep, Tobias Hainyeko, Samora Machel and Khomasdal.
Baby, you know how things have slowed down between us?
Sure.
I think it's time we spice things up.
For real?
How about we add 4 hotties to the mix?
4
each.
Things are heating up at Hungry Lion with 4 Zambas spicy winglets and chips for only $22.90.
Hungry like a lion.
Local youth activists want to bring the much talked about men's conference into existence but require funds to make that happen. What started as a social media hoax has now become a thing as local youth activists decided to launch the first of its kind men's conference in Windhoek. The event, which will mainly focus on helping boys and men become better role models in society, is expected to be quite the event but requires financial support for it to make a lasting impact.
We are calling for more sponsors to come on board because this is the first event. Even ourselves, as we are pushing through, we are facing a lot of challenges. Even in terms of, there are a lot of people who wish to attend, like today, some from other regions. But we told them, hey, look, this is just a launch. We can't invite everyone, but when the main event will happen, we'll obviously extend the invitation to everyone.
The men's conference will for the first time take place in June at the Windhoek Country Club and Resort and plans to invite various stakeholders such as traditional, community as well as church leaders. The event will strictly cater for Namibian boys and men. Women are also welcome but only by invite.
From a woman's perspective, I think it's very, very important and crucial because we all see what we're doing in community as women, but we don't see much of such initiatives being taken by men. So I think that we're really, really excited to see this happening. So many a times we speak about incorporating the guy or the boy child into events and initiatives such as this and being there for them, but then we don't have this initiative. So I think it's quite important because we are coexisting with men, and it's just fair that if we are empowered, then the men are empowered as well.
The men's conference is still open for discussion, and those who would like to get more info or would like to share ideas can contact Bernard Kavau at 081 736 9997 or send a tweet at NAM Men's Conference.
Haita, hola, my name is Shea Ulenga. Catch the tribe every Friday at 9:30 p.m. on One Africa TV, DSTV channel 284 or GoTV channel 90 or simply stream us live at tv2africa.com now.
In other leading stories, US Ambassador Lisa Johnson and Prime Minister Sarah Kukungelwa Amadila joined the UN World Food Programme in the Oshana region recently to deliver more than 85 tons of maize meal, beans and vegetable oil to more than 12,000 vulnerable Namibians that are affected by the drought. This food delivery forms part of the $127 million Namibia in food assistance committed by the United States to the Namibian people. In December 2019, food distribution started in the drought-affected Kavango East and West regions, and food assistance now is being extended to Kunene, Omusati, Oshana, Oshikoto, Zambezi and Omaheke regions. Ambassador Johnson highlighted the importance of the food distribution despite recent rainfalls in the northern part of the country, noting that people still need assistance to feed their families until the first harvest. The funding is provided by PEPFAR and USAID Food for Peace. And Capricorn Group launched its new management development program, where the group, in conjunction with the University of Stellenbosch Business School, are developing a new generation of emerging leaders for the group. For the past 3 years, Capricorn Group has joined hands with the University of Stellenbosch Business School to equip their leaders through management development programs. These include programs for both senior and middle management. The new management development program, presented throughout Africa, empowers skills that allow the transition from working for yourself to managing others, including the responsibility for completing and managing work through team members successfully by sharing information, offering autonomy, being aware of people's needs, and providing direction.
Welcome to Comments Corner, your daily dose of local comments from the hottest social media pages. The president of the Republican Party, Hank Mudge, has vowed that his party will continue to support the independent presidential candidate, Panduleni Itula, in his attempt to challenge the Supreme Court judgment on the presidential election challenge. Tantago said he supports Itula's idea, but is confused by the fact that he is still a SWAPO member and worries that he might perform worse if he becomes president. Nadu said if they want to support Itula, then they should also inform their supporters to join the ruling party where Itula is. Linus says transparency is the only solution left for this case. Hannet said opposition parties are weak for shadowing an independent candidate. Ali said the Electoral Commission has worsened everything in the country. Cornelius said it is their right to take the matter further with the courts, but there will be no winning for them. Nado said since Itula is fighting for the presidency, what are the opposition parties alongside him fighting for exactly? Esther said the parties did not fail but were failed, and said Itula will remain with the 29% of the presidential votes. And that is all from Comments Corner. Be sure to post your comments on our social media pages for broadcast every day only on Today and One.
Welcome to Sport Africa. The BBC's new weekly show will explore the big sporting issues and questions, like why Africans aren't winning medals in the pool.
I just think it's their mindset.
Meeting established and rising stars.
I could be the Nigerian first Grand Slam winner.
And at the heart of it will be you, the fans, with your passion, your opinions, your stories, and even tests of your sporting knowledge. Go beyond the game with BBC Sport Africa.
Today with Joseph Prince.
Even though the law sounds tempting, you can produce instant results,
Amen. It's a cover-up. It's all a veneer. It's all outward. It's all behavior modification. But grace, when it transforms you, be patient when you put people under grace. Sometimes there's no immediate result. But when the results come, it's permanent. It's solid. It's real. It's abundant, both in quality and quantity. Amen.
A look at the weather forecast. First, an advisory from the Windhoek Met Office. Heavy storms are expected over the Khomas, Kavango, Ottodanjupa and Omaheke regions tonight and tomorrow. Please do take the necessary precautions. The Namibia interior partly cloudy and hot in the northwest and the extreme west. Elsewhere, partly cloudy and warm to hot, with a few to isolated thundershowers, but scattered to widespread thundershowers over the Khomas, Kavango, Ottodanjupa and Omaheke regions at places. Windy weather will prevail at places in the interior. The coast, cloudy and cool to warm with fog patches at first, and the wind light to moderate southwesterly.